call her the Edmonton Rocket.
Well, she has a lot of experience in the skating world from her family. Her mom was an Olympic long track speed skater, and her dad, of course, played in the NHL for 9 seasons.
But she's in tough against Nanan Zhao of China, wearing helmet number 20. 2 fourth-place finishes in the last 2 World Cup stops in Holland and Italy. She had a bronze in Japan. Good start by Jessica Gregg. So key to get to that corner.
The start is so important in the 500. It's only 4.5 laps, and Jessica has a lot of speed. Last year she had her breakout onto the World Cup circuit, but this is exactly how she wants to skate the race. She's put a lot of distance between herself and the rest of the women, and she needs to stay in control, but she has the speed. She's really taking control of her long limbs. She's a very tall girl with long legs and long arms, but the rest of the field is definitely catching up.
Gregg in front, Zhao in second place, but watch for Sung-hee Park. Here comes the move. Sung-hee Park diving in there. That could be impeding. It's Gregg at the line, followed by Park and Zhao. We'll have to wait for the official results.
Well, you cannot disrupt any other skater, and so we'll have to wait, and there it is. Park has been disqualified, but Jessica Gregg leads that heat. Here's Steve.
Against Meng Wang, and there's Wang, the Olympic champion, undefeated so far on the World Cup circuit in the 500. Roberge wearing helmet number 14. Tatiana Bordolina, skating for Australia, has helmet 1, and Katerina Novotna has helmet number 27. She's skating for the Czech Republic.
Well, in this race, Steve, there are 2 skaters that Jessica Gregg can watch, Galina Roberge and Meng Wang, because they both want to win, but look at how easy this looks for Meng Wang. She has the speed, and she has the experience, she has the aggression. It looks so easy. She puts her arms on her backs. Galina Roberge has the speed, but right now she has to stay in second spot, and she is skating well, but she is being challenged by Bordolino.
Roberge is the defending world champion over the distance of 500 meters, but they are chasing Meng Wang of China. Meng Wang in control from the opening gun, and what a close finish between Roberge and Bordolina of Australia at the line. I'm going to give it to Roberge. You can see how close it was. Wang wins, so Gregg and Zhao, along with Roberge and Wang, will skate in the final.
It was a good skate by Roberge. She continued to fight the entire way, but now she knows what she needs to do. She knows the speed that Wang has for the final.
We're set now for the first of 2 semifinals for the men. Again, the top 2 skaters will advance to the final. This one features Canada's Charles Hamelin, wearing helmet number 109. He's in tough against Yoon Gae Kwok of Korea. Korea skating without their ace, Junsu An.
An is the leader on that team, but Hamelin is the leader on the Canadian team, and he shows why he is the leader. He gets out in front. We keep saying in the 500 meter, that is the key. The start is the most important position, and to be out in front, to be out of trouble, and Charles Hamelin is doing that right now, skating very well, but a very tight team, and here's the Korean trying to make a move.
Kwok has made his move and slipped into second place. Hamelin is still in front. Tarawa, Japan, sitting in third place. Hamelin looking very calm, cool, and collected at the line. He wins it, followed by Kwok. So those 2 will go on to skate in the final. A solid race from Charles Hamelin with a time of 41.620. Time really not as critical as it is in long track, but Hamelin is through to the final with a convincing skate in the first of 2 semis in the 500. This is the second semi, and this one has Sipak Sung of Korea. 2 gold in the 500 so far this season. And Francois Hamelin, Charles's brother, wearing helmet number 108, is skating in this 500.
Francois, right at the beginning, getting into a little bit of a bump with the rest of the skaters, but he skated so well a few weeks ago, winning the Canadian Championships, and that gave him a lot of confidence. He looks up to his brother, but he needs to make a move if he wants to get to the final, and there he's going to be passed by the Korean skater. He needs to move up and be in the top 2.
John Ely, Big John Ely of Great Britain is leading, followed by Sibak Sung of Korea. Then it's Han of China and Francois Hamelin, who is the world record holder in the distance. Hamelin trying to make a move on the inside. It is still Ely in front. Hamelin is down and out, and he takes Sung with him. I think Sung might be advanced because of that fall by Francois Amelin, who had too much speed.
Well, that is where experience.
Of the men's 1500, 13.5 laps, and this one features Charles Hamelin against Ho Suk Lee. And there's Ho Suk Lee, second in the 1500 at the Olympics, currently ranked number 2 on the World Cup circuit in this distance. Gold and silver on the 1500 at the World Cup this year. Hamelin, silver and bronze in the 1500 so far this year, 4th in the 1500 at this event at the Olympics. He is the defending world champion over a distance of 500 meters. There's Sung Hoon Lee, silver in the first 1500-meter World Cup competition in Harbin, China. And he is next to Jordan Malone, 4th at the 2007 World Championships in the 1500 from Denton, Illinois. 4th in this race in Montreal last year. And he is next to a young French skater, Maxime Chatagnier. No World Cup medals yet. And the second Canadian in this final is Steve Robillard, 24-year-old from Montreal. 4 individual medals on the World Cup circuit in 2004-05, but he hasn't been that good since, Katrina.
He's been inconsistent in his skating, but he's finally starting to come back, and there's so much depth on the Canadian team that for him, he's got many people to compete against just within his country.
This should be a battle between Charles Hamelin, wearing helmet number 109, the Canadian, against Ho Suk Lee of Korea and his teammate Sung Hoon Lee. And the 1500 is a lot of strategy, a lot of tactics. They don't fly off the line like they do in the 500. It's all about positioning, having something left in the tank come those final 2 or 3 laps.
Robillard just took the lead, and you see him look around. He looked almost between his legs and then around his shoulder, and now Hamelin taking the lead, and this is what it is. It's cat and mouse. It's playing with the other skaters, getting in a position that you want to be so that you can stay out of trouble, but also knowing what's happening behind you. They know, all the skaters know how good the Koreans are. They have the speed, but they also have the endurance, and now the American going out in front. Again, everybody is waiting for a move to be made. The coaches are on the side, and the coaches are speaking to the athletes. They are telling them what is happening, and here we see the move by the Koreans. They want to control the race.
That is Sung Hoon Lee, silver in the first 1500 of the season. He has taken over the lead. The Koreans like to skate in pairs if they possibly can, and right now they are positioned 1st and 4th. This is the final of the men's 1500 meters, 13.5 laps, and they've got 6 to go. And tucked into second position is Charles Hamelin, followed by his Canadian teammate Steve Robillard.
Well, again, anybody is waiting for a move, and now here are the moves. The speed is increasing, and Hamelin has felt that the Koreans were starting to increase the speed, and he wants to be in control. When you're in the front, you are in control, and every lap is getting faster and faster, and the crowd feels the excitement. There are only 3 laps to go, and Charles Hamelin now really picking it up.
Hamelin followed by the 2 Koreans. This is the position they like to be in to make that last lap move if they can. Hamelin takes it up a notch, still has the lead.
The Koreans making an outside move. They started to build around the previous corner, and Charles Hamelin now struggling just to keep up with Lee. Both Koreans now making that move.
Ho Suk Lee takes it. Second place to Sung Hoon Lee, and Charles Hamelin slips into 3rd position to take the bronze medal, followed by Jordan Malone. A perfectly executed race by Ho Suk Lee and Sung Hoon Lee.
The Koreans have the speed to come on the outside, but Charles Hamelin has the experience. He felt the Koreans coming, and he made the inside pass, but he just did not have enough speed and enough endurance to keep off both Koreans, and here they made their moves on Charles Hamelin, but he should be very happy with how he skated the race. It shows his experience, but the Koreans are the force. Again, a great race by Charles Hamelin with a
first of 2 1,000-meter races for the women. And this one has Kalina Roberge in the field, along with Sung Hee Park and Saibom Shin of Korea, along with the veteran Jenny Radinova, the 30-year-old, two-time Olympian for Bulgaria, has a couple of Olympic silver medals. But once again, the Koreans will be the skaters to watch in this women's 1,000. Each World Cup stop is allowed to have 2 races at a distance, and Quebec City has chosen the 1,000s to race twice. Some stops they'll race 2 500s or 2 1500s, but here the Grand is the race of choice to go twice in. Kalina Roberge, the defending world champion over 500 meters. She was second overall at the Worlds last year. She has a silver in the 1500 and a bronze in the 500 on the World Cup circuit this year. Roberge with helmet number 14, but it is Sung Hee Park taking the lead in this final of the 1,000.
The 1,000 meter, the key is not the start like the 500, but it is faster than the 1500. And Kalina Roberge, at just 21 years of age, she has the experience, but you know what she has that really impresses me is that fiery edge. She is a competitor. She knows how strong the Koreans are, and she talks about wanting to make them scared of her. And that is what you need in short track. She understands to be out in front is to be out of trouble. And she has told the Koreans right here that she wants to control this race.
And she is so light and so quick on her skates. With one step, she can get herself in and out of trouble and into the lead if need be. It is Kalina Roberge in front of the 2 Koreans, Park and Shin, in this final of the women's 1,000.
As you mentioned, she is a very petite skater, but she has speed. She has so much power in those little legs that she has. But again, it's the fiery competitiveness that she has. She struggled with some back injuries at the beginning of the season, but she's fixed those. She knows the strength of the Koreans, and she knows she needs to make a move here, and she's starting to wind up, looking for a chance on the inside, but not enough room.
It is Park in front, followed by Kalina Roberge. Now, here comes Shin. Shin trying to make a move on the outside, and she runs out of room. It is going to be Park at the line, number 64, followed by Kalina Roberge. But I got to believe there may be an inquiry sign on the board in this one.
You cannot impede with other skaters. You need to stay on your own track. Kalina Roberge trying to make a move and then getting bumped a little bit. And everybody now just has to wait to see what is going to happen. There are judges out on the ice watching every single move. Kalina Roberge wants to impress the home crowd. She skated very well. She was very calm when she needed to be calm. And then there was an inside move by the Korean, and Kalina Roberge continued with that, following them. But again, she just has to keep on her own track, and Shin trying to come on the outside of Roberge, and she kept skating. And there was some body contact. You cannot have body contact with another skater. And Roberge all the way to the line, fighting through, but again, nobody could touch Park. And so they are just waiting to find out what happened, if there was any impeding, and Kalina Roberge there at the line against Radinova of Bulgaria. Kalina Roberge skating very well.
This is the final. Zhang of China will have helmet number 115. Best World Cup finish this season, a 4th in the 1500 in Italy. And he is next to Guillaume Bastille. What a story for this young man, wearing helmet number 107. A month ago, he wasn't even on the Canadian team. Now he's skating in his first ever World Cup final.
Well, and 2 years ago, he was actually replacing the pucks at the World Cup in Montreal. He was on the 2014 squad, but now at the World Cup.
And wearing helmet number 112, Marc-Andre Monette. He won his first World Cup medal, a silver in the 1,000 earlier this year in Korea. His older brother is Jean-Francois Monette. And next to him, Maxime Chatagnier of France. The French very good in the relays, but they have yet to produce a strong individual skater. 9 laps around the arena here on the fairgrounds in Quebec City. Final of the men's 1,000. Zhang would have to be the favorite. and he will start from lane 1. 2 Canadians, Bastille and Monette.
The 1,000 meters called the thinking man's race because there's so much strategy. You want to be out front to be out of trouble and to be in control, but you need to have the speed as well. As you mentioned, Steve Zhang would be the favorite here, and he takes control. He shows his leadership, but Bastille really is getting a lot of experience, and Monette, so much depth on the Canadian team.
Monette not allowing Zhang to get too far in front as he takes over the lead, but here comes Zhang answering back.
It's a bit of cat and mouse. Everybody wants to control the race, but the speed is increasing at every lap. It's only a 9-lap race, and Monette and Bastille staying very patient. There's no team skating allowed, but this is a great situation. At home in Quebec City, 2 Canadians. They know that Zhang has speed and has power and has endurance, but one of them needs to make a move very soon in order to challenge Zhang for the lead.
It's Zhang, followed by Monette, then Bastille. Charanier of France is sitting in 4th position and looking for some skating room. He's not going to find any as everybody is chasing Zhang. Zhang still in front, trying to slip it into another gear. Monette on his shoulder, followed by Bastille. Can the Canadians find enough room as Zhang comes around that turn? Zhang still in front. A late move perhaps. No, Zhang wins it. 2nd place to Monette and 3rd place to Bastille.
At every corner, Monette and Bastille going out a little bit, looking to see if they can make a move on Zhang. Zhang, with the experience, staying very calm through the entire race, making a nice inside pass on Monette, and really he controlled the race. He increased the speed lap after lap, and Monette and Bastille continuing to try to make a move, but at the very end, Zhang held off both Canadians, but a good skate by Marc-Andre Monette and Guillaume Bastille. But nobody could touch the Chinese skater of Zhang, and he has the victory in the men's 1,000 meter, but Canada with a silver.
Record in this distance, by the way, is held by Jenny Radnova, setting Calgary in 2001. The Bulgarian did a 43.671. The skater to beat here, definitely Meng Wang. She is undefeated in the 500s on the World Cup circuit so far this season. They're introducing the defending world champion over 500 meters, Canada's Kalina Robert. She'll be wearing helmet number 14. And there's Nanan Zhao of China, bronze in the 500 in Japan. And Canada's Jessica Gregg, they're calling her the Edmonton Rocket, bronze in the 500 at the 04-05 World Junior Championships. 2 Canadians, 2 Chinese skaters. It should be an interesting final. They've just done a flood on the ice, so the ice is fast. That world record time for the Bulgarian Jenny Radnova, again, 43.671. Meng Wang and Nanan Zhao of China against Kalina Robert and Jessica Gregg. Start again, critical.
The key is the start, and Meng Wang is so fast. She's well out in front. Kalina Robert needs to play a little bit of catch-up. Hamlin mentioned earlier that the ice was too soft, but this ice with the new flood has a lot of grip, and Meng Wang is using that grip, but Kalina Robert is really skating very well in 2nd place.
Martin Gagné, the head coach of the Canadian women's team, said the key for the Canadians, don't panic. If Meng Wang gets out in front the way she has done, she's on the final lap, and she is very, very fast. That world record time is in jeopardy. Meng Wang, a great race and a world record. 2nd place to Kalina Robert, 3rd place to Zhao. Jessica Gregg is 4th, and that new world record time for Meng Wang, 43.286 seconds. She likes the ice in Quebec City.
Well, I wonder how fast the world record would have been if she actually skated through the line. She put her arms up on her back. It shows that she wasn't panicked. She had so much speed off the start. She has so much power and aggression. She just does not hesitate in that first corner. And Kalina Robert skated very well, but she just did not have enough speed to catch up with Meng Wang, and what an incredible skate by the Chinese skater.
The Olympic champion from Turin showing us why. Still undefeated for both of those young men. As I said, the first family of Canadian short track speed skating. We're getting set for the men's 500-meter final. And there is Charles Hamelin, fourth in the 1500 at the Turin Olympics. The defending world champion over the distance. His best World Cup finish this season was a silver in the 500 in Holland. Yun Yi Kwak, wearing helmet number 165. 2 bronze, 1 silver on the World Cup this season. Third in the 500 in Japan and Holland. He's up against John Ely, 5th in the 500 at the Torino Olympics, representing Great Britain. And next to him, Jialiang Han, no medals so far this season for China. And the second Korean in the field is Sibak Sung. Silver in the first 500 this season in China, but gold in Japan and Holland, and then bronze in Italy. So clearly, Sibak Sung is the one to beat, along with Yun Yi Kwak of Korea. Hamelin will be in lane 1, the lane closest to us. And Katrina, that is key in the 500 to get to that corner as quickly as you can, that first corner.
Well, some skaters don't like being on the very inside, but Charles Hamelin knows how to skate the 500, and he does not mind being on the very inside, but a little bumping with John Ely. And wow, look at how fast Ely is out in front. He is definitely the tallest man in the race, if not in short track speed skating, and he is skating extremely well. The rest of the skaters can't panic. Charles Hamelin and Kwak saying, wow, where is John Ely coming from? We need to go and get him.
A terrific start by John Ely of Great Britain, and he is taking full advantage, but there's the move we expected to see from Kwak of Korea. 165 with a daring move. Hamelin is now having to chase the Korean at the line. It is Kwak followed by Hamelin, and then John Ely, who had that great start but could not finish, mainly because of the superb move by Kwak to get in front and stay there at the end of this race. It's a silver for Charles Hamelin, but gold for Yun Yi Kwak of Korea.
An extremely exciting final. Talk about the start being key, and Charles Hamelin getting a little bit of a bump against John Ely, and Ely just did not hesitate, but Kwak shows the dominance that he has, the speed. He makes it look so easy. He tucks around the outside, but Charles Hamelin also with a nice move and following Kwak, taking an outside pass around John Ely, and a good skate, but again, exciting final. Did they think that John Ely would be so fast off the line? But Kwak really showing the strength that he has. Charles Hamelin with a silver medal, and here is Steve with Charles.
Very quickly, the rules of relay speed skating, short track version.
27 laps in this women's relay, and it gets extremely busy out on the ice with 16 women, 4 skaters per team, but everybody has a duty. A skater monitors the other one, and if a skater falls, you can tag them, and then they continue on. So somebody's always watching another skater, and then their teammate comes in, and they come in for the exchange. They do a pass, and the pass is the key to the relay. This can win or lose a race, but the Canadians have such experience and such depth in the relay.
The Canadians in the lead right now, followed by Korea. When we come back to Quebec City, the finish of the women's relay. It's outside, but inside, things definitely heating up. We've got 4 laps to go in the women's 3,000-meter relay. The Koreans in front, the Canadians sitting in second place, China in third.
But just like in the relay, just like in individual distances, you cannot impede with other skaters. And the relay is always exciting. The Chinese making a move over the Canadians, but the exchange now to Kalina Roberge, and she needs to play catch up. But again, a lot of skaters out on the ice bumping into each other.
The Koreans in front, followed by the Chinese. The Canadians are sitting in third position, and almost a collision there. The Koreans at the line, followed by China, and then Canada. But that order of finish, Katrina, I think is going to change, because of impeding on the part of the Koreans.
Well, the Canadians keeping their track, and the Koreans making a move on the inside over Tanya Visson, the experienced 32-year-old on the Canadian team, and then the exchange, which is key in this race. The Chinese making a move over the Canadians, but I did not like the move that the Koreans had on the Chinese. Here, the final exchange, and the Chinese really gaining a lot of speed, trying to make a move, but the Koreans moved in the way of the Chinese, so the Koreans RDQ'd, China with the gold, Canada with the silver.
Turn. 45 laps, the men's 5,000-meter relay.
Well, we said it was busy on the ice with 16 women, 16 male skaters out here. It definitely gets tight. The Koreans will be the favorites, and they're at the back, but they have so much experience, they never panic. But an interesting team for the Canadians with the two-brother combinations. 20 years ago, short track debuted at the Olympic Games as a demonstration sport, and look where it's come. Canada has been a force for the last 20 years.
We'll finish the men's relay when we come back. But it's toasty inside, where we've got the final laps of the men's 5,000-meter relay. The Koreans in front, followed by the Canadians, then the Americans.
Well, the Koreans show their dominance. The Canadians really not panicking, having good exchanges, but the Americans are right on their heels. As Apollo mentioned, he has the moves on the dance floor, but also on the ice, and they are really pushing the Canadians. And the Canadians, for the Canadians, this is new to have the Americans to battle with.
Nobody is going to catch the Koreans. Ono has made his move. He's got the Americans into second. The Canadians finish in third place. But the Koreans, the defending Olympic and world champions, still unbeaten in the men's relay on the World Cup circuit this year. A solid race for the Koreans from start to finish. It was Apollo Anton Ono who got the Americans into the silver medal position. Charles Amelin and the Canadian brothers finish in the bronze medal spot.
Steve, you mentioned that the Americans need to have a stronger team to help Ono. Well, I think they have found members of that team to be so competitive with the Koreans, but also with the Canadians, who have always been a strength in the relay. But the Koreans showing the dominance. They're such a young team, but they have so much depth. An outside pass takes so much energy, and the Koreans choosing not to exchange where the others exchanged, and they have really practiced well together because everything is so fluid. They have so much strength and speed, and the way they make moves, they just do crossover after crossover to do an outside pass and to come in over the Canadians with that force is incredible, and they always skate extremely well. The Canadians with a strong performance by the two brother teams, but the Americans really coming up, showing that they are going to be a force to be reckoned with over the next 2 years. But as usual, everybody following the Koreans and the strength that that team has.
Simply put, the Koreans putting on a show and giving everyone an idea why they have yet